What is up, YouTube? This is Rome coming at you with another video. In this video, I'm going to talk about the top 5 majors that you should go to college for. And this is my opinion. I know it's going to be other opinions out there. My opinion is based on job likability and pay, because I feel like you need balance, you need both. In a previous video, I talked about how you can go to college for things that don't pay very well and get a degree that doesn't pay very well, which I don't recommend. In that case, I would suggest you be an entrepreneur, start your own business and do it yourself, because at least you're going to be starting off not in debt. You're going to just have to grow your own business. If you go to college for something that doesn't pay very well, you're going to get out and be trying to start a career, but you're going to be in debt and you're not going to get the pay to supplement that. So I would suggest just doing entrepreneurship. But with that, I'm going to get into this top 5. So number 1 on my list is going to be nursing. Now, nursing, from my aspect, I work in a hospital. I work alongside nurses. I did go to school for an LPN, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about an RN. So it's going to be a BSN 4-year degree coming out of school as an RN. And from what I've seen, you can make anywhere from $50K to $70K. Now, I've seen less, I've seen higher, I've seen a lot higher, but that's basically the average, and that's basically what I see the majority of RNs make, is anywhere from $50K to $70K a year. And so that's a pretty good salary. On top of that, it's also a pretty likable job. Most of the RNs that I see working with, they don't have to work physically too hard. It's more of a mental job. It can be stressful. I do hear that a lot, that it can be a stressful job, managing the patients and trying to take care of them, dealing with so many different personalities and things of that nature. But it's not a really taxing job on the body too much. There is some type of physical work in there as well, but it's not the majority of that. So I think it's a really good job to have. One of the other things reason why I put it on number 1 on the list is because you don't have to stop at RN. You can go to school for another 2 years and become a nurse practitioner. On that aspect, you're going to actually bring your salary up from that 50 to 70K, and it's going to be more like 100 to 140K a year. So obviously that's 6 figures. That's a really good salary. It's a very prestigious job. You get to work alongside doctors and physician assistants, and so you'll be a nurse practitioner. So you're basically going to be top tier in the medical field. So that's a possibility as well. So I think nursing is definitely number 1 on the list. It's a wide range of salary you can make, and it's a very likable job. Next on the list is going to be biology. Now, it's not going to be many things that you can do with a biology degree right out of college, but there's 4 things that I know of that you can do. I am a biology major at UNCC in Charlotte here. Go 49ers. Biology is the only degree that I know of that you can go to school for, and it's going to satisfy all the prerequisites for medical school or physician assistant school. That's what I'm doing. I'm trying to get into physician assistant school. I'm in my senior year of biology at UNCC right now. So with that said, you can satisfy all the prerequisites for medical school or physician assistant school, which is why biology is in the top 5, because both of those jobs have a high salary. Now, just biology by itself, you can still use just that degree and make just as much as an RN makes. The things that you can go into, it could be a medical research lab. You can go to a medical clinical lab. You can work with animals and do something like zoology, or you could be a professor. Either one of those jobs pay anywhere from about 40 to 70K a year. So similar money to an RN. So even with the biology degree by itself, you can make a decent salary. But the most reason why people take biology in college is so that they can go to medical school, PA school, satisfy those prerequisites without taking any additional courses, and then you can obviously make a way higher salary as a physician assistant or a physician. So next on the list is going to be engineering, and I'm going to throw in here computer engineering and computer science as well. So obviously we know we live in a tech world right now. It's growing every year. It's been growing, and it's probably, I would say, one of the number 1 booming industries right now. So engineering in general, let's take the computer aspect out of it. I've heard you can make anywhere from 80 to 100K a year. Computer engineering, computer science, same deal. I've seen as low as 60 actually on that end, but I've seen as high as almost 200K a year. Computers is the future. I feel like it's always going to be really good job stability in that field. Obviously, you just heard the salary is going to be really great, and also you're going to be better equipped for the day for the world of tomorrow. I feel like, because it's only going to get more and more intricate. So it's going to be more adapted into our lifestyle. Everything is going digital, and I feel like you're going to have a leg up on the rest of society in that aspect. And also, you never know what this world is going to come into. It may come into a time where that's the majority of the work available. So that's something that I think should be in the top 5, and it's only going to grow. So next on the list is pre-law, criminal justice. I'm going to throw those in together. Now, obviously, pre-law, everybody know a lawyer gets a good salary, and it's not a physically demanding job. It is a mental job as well. Like I said about the nursing, it can be very stressful, but the job outlook is pretty good. I mean, you can make anywhere from 100K that I've seen some lawyers making 300-400K a year. So they're making pretty much the same as medical doctors. But it's a long journey. It's a lot of schooling. Now, let's talk about criminal justice. Criminal justice is like biology. It's one of those things where you're not going to come out making a great salary right away, but you can build on it. And what I mean by that is, if you go to school for criminal justice right out of college, you're going to probably become like a probation officer or security or police officer, something of that nature. Now, any one of those jobs, say you're a probation officer or a police officer, you get experience in that, and you can move up to becoming a lawyer or a judge. I believe to be a judge, you have to do some type of criminal justice work beforehand, typically a police officer. And also, I know police officers know a hell of a lot about the law. So, all of those things go hand in hand, and, you can build on it. So where you start is not necessarily going to be where you end up. You can go from making a probation officer, police officer salary, which is going to be anywhere from about the same 40 to 80K, to making, 6 figures if you become a lawyer or a judge. So, where you start isn't where you're going to end up. And the added benefit to that, unlike the other jobs, is you're going to be more likely working for state. So you're going to get really great benefits. You're going to get taken care of. And a lot of state jobs still have pensions. You won't get that with other jobs. So all in all, it's a really good field to be in. And I've heard really good job likability. You see all the time police officers that done it for 20, 30 years. Most people that work in those kind of jobs, they actually do it until they retire. So, the job likability has to be there, and the salary is there as well. So last on my list is business. Now, I'm going to get a lot of blowback for this because I have mixed feelings about business. I'm not in love with it like a lot of people are. A lot of people, matter of fact, I think the majority of the students at UNCC are business majors. People love it. I'm not a big fan of it, but I definitely recognize it's a great major to have, and that's the reason why it's in my top 5. Now, and the reason why I have mixed feelings about business is because I feel like the job market is oversaturated. Now, it's never literally oversaturated, because this whole world runs on business. Anything that you can think of is business. It's got some type of business relationship to it. This camera that I'm using right now, it came from a business. A business made it, and a business sold it. Everything in this room came from a business. What I eat comes from a business. Everything, this whole world runs on business. Even the government, in its essence, is a business. They manage the United States. They manage the country, and that management is basically a business. So the whole world runs on business. So it's never literally oversaturated. But what I mean by that is, there's people that go to school, they get a business degree, and they think, or they believe that they're going to make this high-end salary and live in a penthouse and all this and that. But business is one of those things, unlike the other stuff that I mentioned, it's not guaranteed. You're not guaranteed to make this salary once you finish. Everything that I mentioned is pretty safe. You're going to make somewhere in those ranges that I mentioned. Business is not like that. You can go to school and get a business degree, and you can wind up making 40K a year. Now, you can also go to school, get a business degree, and you can make 200, 300, 400K a year. So it's going to be more on the individual. It's going to be more on the location, and I feel like they pick people for those things, man. It's a lot of who you know. So all those things together, it's not a guarantee like those other things. And I'm not the type of person that like to gamble. I'm not a gambler, but I do recognize the greatness of the field, because, like I said, it's never oversaturated. There's always going to be a job out there for you in some way, shape, or form. And the potential for salary is out there. And I do know people that love it. I know people that get a hard on for a business. Like, people love it, and So it's definitely should be mentioned in the top 5, and some people would even put it number 1, because a lot of the other jobs that I mentioned, they have salary caps. Business is one of those jobs, one of the few jobs that you don't really ever have a salary cap. You can keep making more and more and more the more business. You can keep making more business, growing business, and it's one of those things that it can just keep on going. There's no limits to it. So that's a reason why a lot of people love it the way they do. But I have mixed feelings about it because of the, like I said, it's not safe, it's not guaranteed. And I know people personally that went to school for business and they're not doing too good out here. But I also know people that went to school for business and they're doing great. The last thing I want to talk about is not major related. It's entrepreneurship and owning your own business. A lot of times when I ask people, hey, if you could have any job in the world, what would it be? Most of the time they come back with, I would rather own my own business, which is great. I do appreciate that mindset, and I think everybody should be working to some type of entrepreneurship. And if you want to be a high value person, or a high value member of society, I think everybody should at least be thinking about or entertaining the idea. What I would say to that, though, is I feel like you should go to college first, because a business isn't guaranteed as well. It's just like business, it basically is business. So I feel like you should have a strong foundation to fall back on. Also, it can only help your business. Whatever you plan on doing business-wise, you can go to school and get an education, get a degree that can help further along your business. It can save your bottom line, increase your back end. Because, say for example, you go to school for computer science, computer engineering, and then you start a business. Now you know how to make your own websites. You can manage all that. You don't have to pay nobody for that. And then also you can get a computer science, computer engineering job, and you can use that revenue to feed into your business. I feel like you need a strong foundation in order to own your own business and be successful at it. Now, it's not needed. I know plenty of people that just started their own business and they were plenty successful, never went to school. Hell, we know a lot of celebrities like that. So it's not needed. But I feel like for the average person, average American, you should get an education first and go to school first. It's only going to help your business. It's not to say that you can't do it, you shouldn't do it. It's just going to help you with that solid foundation. When we look at all the celebrities and people online that we see that didn't do it, you got to understand they're anomalies. They're exception to the rules. That most people just see celebrities and they just think that's how their life is. That's not realistic for the average American, average person. So, I'm definitely one of those people that's pro college. I think college is a good thing depending on how you do it, and that's the reason why I made this video, so you can see the top 5 majors to go to. And I think it's a great investment. Any investment in yourself is a great investment. So with that, that's my video for today. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below. Please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Until next time.